kindness it's so accessible. It's so frequent opportunities every day to do that. I just think, why wouldn't we? And I think it's one of the best ways we are light in the world. We've got to lead with our actions. And I don't know, you look at just the numerous texts in the New Testament that talk about the place of serving in the Christian life. It may be the most prominent expression of our discipleship.
Well, it started in the early 90s. I had Ross as a teacher.
Ross Cochran and I met in college.
When I was a student, Ross Cochran was my teacher. I had him for one class, and that one class would rank as one of the most transformative experiences that I had at Harding.
Ross was my freshman Bible teacher, first day freshman year.
He and a group went to Ireland the summer after my sophomore year, and I thought, wow, they're committing 2 years of their lives to going to Ireland. I'd never considered missions before, but Ross was just cool, and he's going to be a missionary. I didn't think missionaries could be cool.
He certainly taught us a lot of facts and took us through the Gospels, took us through youth ministry, the Gospel of John, life of Christ. But he always started off with our relationship with God.
While many other people, many other students were talking about issues of the day and concerns about arguing about things, Ross was drawing me towards Christ.
When I first came back to Harding, just 2 or 3 years after Ross had begun, it was obvious that Ross was the young rock star, but just because of the way he poured into students.
His patience and in the way he communicates with students, the respect that he gives us.
Ross has taught me how to serve like Jesus, especially in that way of paying attention to people.
When I first came back from Africa, I didn't know the first thing about office protocol. Ross showed me where the stapler was and kind of showed me what administrative staff does. He was so patient with me. We would walk home together. And once he had seen me, pouring my heart out to a student, staying late, taking work home, because I'd given it away to the students that day. And he said, Monty, you're not the Savior, but you can point people to the Savior. And that has stuck with me.
I have seen Ross be like Christ in how he treats his students and how he treats me and how he treats my children.
I think Ross is like Jesus because as he goes about life, as he walks and talks, he interacts with you, and you might say something, you might see him across the street and him say hi to you, and then you're going to get a text the next day.
Another thing I think about Ross that reminds me of Jesus is his gentleness. Just an incredibly gentle, tender person. But like Jesus, don't be deceived. Ross is also someone with fire in his belly. And when he sees the downtrodden, the oppressed, the outsider being mistreated, being neglected, or he sees Christians who don't seem to have a heart for the kinds of people that Jesus always had a heart for, he gets fired up. And there have been times that I've seen that and been surprised because I think Ross is so gentle. And then I think, oh yeah, this is just how people in the Bible react to the Lord.
Ross reminds me of Jesus in his humble demeanor, in his commitment to being a servant. Dallas Willard, Richard Foster, many who write about spiritual disciplines talk about the difference between choosing to serve, which are acts of service you do here and there, and actually being a servant. Ross can't help it. He is a servant. I see it in the neighborhood when Ross says, hey, do you need some help with X? And he will have noticed something I didn't notice. Every time he leaves having done something like that, I think, oh, I wish I could be more like Ross, because he notices.
Ross's legacy at Harding is the students that he's had in his class and the connections that he was able to. He was definitely a professor that was not just in the classroom.
His legacy on campus is to bring Christ into the workplace, to bring the sacred into the secular and to get rid of the dichotomy.
I think his own students and the ministers and the teachers that he's formed, and just the Christians that are living their lives outside of churches and workplaces and neighborhoods, I think that he's had a great effect on us all.
Oh, the legacy we don't want to lose. Students feel safe with Ross. After a brief interaction, they know they can trust him. They know that he's not going to pass a judgment where relationship's going to be lost. They know that it's real, it's authentic, it's long-term.
He made me feel so loved and seen, and I think that that legacy of a gentle man who's so smart and so hardworking and has the ability to present softness and strength at the same time is a legacy worth protecting and contributing to.
His legacy at Harding, more than anything else, is just his authentic devotion to being an apprentice of Jesus. And that's a legacy worth honoring.
That is a legacy worth preserving.
That's a legacy worth continuing here at Harding.
His work, his life, his ministry has launched so many others into service in the kingdom, serving like Jesus, serving as Jesus. That's a legacy that's worth honoring.